Hey guys, so now we're gonna start to look at another way of taking care of your tools. Let's say that you use your stamp for quite a bit. So if look, it's dirty, and not only that it's dirty, the tip, it's quite dull. So in order to clean it and sharpen it, you're gonna need the sandpaper, either in the sandpaper block, if you guys remember, or just a regular sheet of sandpaper, and once again with 220 grit. And you will need your X-Acto knife with a really nice sharp blade. So let's look how we're gonna do it. If you wanna clean it, let's say that you take your sandpaper block and you notice that it has already charcoal or pencil from other cleaning or sharpening exercises. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna remove this because you do not wanna have a dirty surface. You might keep it for other sharpenings of the pencils, but remove it. Then very lightly take your sandpaper in your hand and place the stump in such a way that it creates an angle. So don't place it flat, so it has an angle, and then drag it towards you and spin it. So we're gonna start to do this exercise. And if you guys look, it starts to clean. So let's change in a cleaner part. So remember not to shift the angle because you don't wanna because remember, the stamp is nothing else but compressed paper, which means that it's quite hard. So it allows you to sand it as well as to sharpen it. So if I'm looking, I see that it's much more cleaner than before. Of course, I can go with this exercise for longer until I clean it completely. Once you are done with the cleaning, take a piece of paper, so paper towel or a piece of paper, and just very gently wrap it around, spin it to make sure that it's nice and clean. You can do the same exercise using a regular sandpaper, but remember, never hold it on your hand. Always on a heavier, on a surface, a sturdier surface, and you'll do the same exercise. It should work. If you want to sharpen your stamp, just place it on the paper and make sure that you don't place it flat or on its tip. So find an angle and then hold it, pretty much like you will hold the pencil when you sharpen them, guys. So put your finger underneath, the thumb on the top, the other three are just for support. And then you can, and be very careful because it's quite harder. So you start to scrape away and to give the shape. Don't worry if you see this funny looking mess, it's paper. You are just removing the paper, basically. So if you guys look, I started to have a nice tip, but if I'm looking carefully, I started to also have all those paper fluffing around. So what I will do, I could take a new piece of sandpaper or my sandpaper, whichever you want, and make sure that I create this nice smooth tip, because I do not want to have any paper residues since they will gonna interfere with my blending actually. So here it is, it's nice and clean. Now, so that will be for the stamp, guys, both the sharpening and the cleaning. So remember, after you sharpen it using a sharp X-Acto knife blade, you're gonna use the sandpaper to smoothen out the tip. If you have, let's move this for a second. If you have your tortillon, the tortillon, remember, it's empty inside, which means that it's not gonna be so sturdy. So you'll be using only the sandpaper. So you'll do the same. You'll put it in such a way that the tip of the tip, it's matching it's flashing the sandpaper, and very gently you're gonna start to clean it. Now let's say that you drop your tortillon, which you shouldn't actually, and if you look, the tip, it's flattened. You don't have to throw it away. Just take a paper clip, as I have here, open it, and then shove it on the back of the tortillon and push it very gently so you don't create more damages than you want. And you're gonna see that the tip start to resurface. Here it is. So that's all, people.